Alright guys, Fulu coming to you with another video, um, or another commentary I should say. This this one, I'm gonna be honest with you guys when I say this, and I know it may sound crazy to a couple of people, but I really had to guard myself in regards to even putting this woman on my phone screen because she just really carry a dark energy. It is what it is. You guys may think I'm crazy, but when modern women do things that they do, it's a very dark energy, because they have been given over to their desires and their lust, and no sense of accountability. And not only that, but also what society allows them to be and what society accepts from them. But Britney Renner or whatever put out another video just explaining and justifying her demonic behavior. So let's take a look at it.
A lot of people say that I have a few screws loose. Perhaps I do.
It's not perhaps she does. This woman is, I would say, and many people may think I'm far-fetched, but I would say that this woman is possessed by a jinn, that when she engaged in her lewd behavior, that a lot of evil entities hopped on her back and never left her. And also because she's so desensitized, I will say that she does have screws loose. And on top of that, she has no desire to, reform herself. She has no desire to be just balanced. And it's not about, I'm not saying she should fit into any moral standard. All I'm saying is that I don't even think she has control over herself at this point,
I'm fragile, but not like a flower. More like a bomb.
What she means by that is that what I get from that, this is just me personally, what I get from that is that at any given moment, she can do something that would affect people around her and possibly, hurt people around her by her doing these things,
Yeah, I'm just unpredictable, unforgiving.
She's not unpredictable. I mean, we've seen what she did when she went to the college with the she said hi your sons, and then proceeded to go to a college party and started twerking. You know what I mean? One thing I noticed about her is you never see her son with her or her kid with her. I don't know if she has a son or a daughter. At this point, I think, as we said before, that kid was for collateral only. And that's what I'm worried about more than anything else is the kid and how the kid's going to be how the kid's going to be brought up, because that kid could take on traits that she has and then be self-destructive and detrimental to this society.
Beautiful, yet dangerous. predictable, unforgiving, beautiful, yet dangerous.
To be honest, she's not really beautiful. With makeup on and all done up, she's maybe a 6 at best. I would even say a 5 at best. Without makeup or anything like that, she's maybe a 4 or 3, just in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion.
Like Mother Nature, you're right. I have lost my mind. And I don't wish to find it.
The thing is, you can tell by her eyes and by the way she's talking that there is an evil entity inside of her. When women have no shame and when women do things like this, then best believe that there are unseen forces that latch on to them and furthermore drive them on to do more and more and more. Okay? You can tell by her eyes. Just look at her eyes. Look at them. Just look at her eyes. Look closely. Let me zoom in. Look at her eyes. Look at them.
I lost my mind when I started choosing courage over comfort. I lost my mind when I started choosing me over others who were negatively impacting my life. I lost my mind when I started living for myself.
What she means by that is, in essence, she lost her mind basically doing what she wants to do and not taking accountability for doing what she wants to do. That's what she meant. What she means is that since in normal societies, structure, order, and some kind of discipline in order for that society to run correctly are needed. But because she didn't want to do that, she decided that it was better for her to just have a free-for-all and just basically be the demonic entity she is right now. You know, that's the thing about even, and I'm not saying she's a Satanist. I'm not saying that, so don't get my words construed. But that's what Satanism is. Satanism is just giving over to all of your desires. That's all it is. And that's what she did.
The irony. I have no desire to be normal. Normal? If you were to Google what normal means, it means to conform.
No, it doesn't. You can be normal and still be successful and still live like, let's just say, an amazing life. You can still do that. Normal doesn't mean you have to conform. You know what I mean? You look at some of the greats who did certain things and they still remain normal through it all. They still remain regular people. They still remain people with values, people with integrity. But they were still normal. So normal doesn't necessarily mean you conform. Normal, in my opinion, just means balanced. Normal just means being on your natural disposition. It doesn't mean you have to conform to society.
If somebody told me right now, you either fit in with everyone else or you're dead. Sweetie, I will volunteer to go jump off the Golden Gate Bridge myself.
Okay, so what she doesn't realize though is she fits in with the Wicked Witch of the West. That's the thing. She doesn't realize that she's doing everything that most of the modern Western women aspire to do. Okay, she's no different from them. Most Western women aspire to use a guy, get a bag, even if that means there's a kid involved. That's what they aspire to do, okay? So she's not really much different from any other Western women. She just broadcasted her shit and made a cult like following from doing it. That's the only thing that makes her different from the rest of these women.
Because I have no desire to water myself down to fit in with people who don't even know who they are.
People know who they are. It's just that some people understand the consequences of their actions too. And understand that if they were to do certain things, there will be repercussions for doing them. Not only will there be maybe spiritual repercussions, but there'll be physical, economical, and mental repercussions. And we see that with you.
The things that I read about myself, I'm not gonna lie, it tickles me. One, because it's just blasphemous and it's laughable. And probably a little bit because I'm a masochist. Yes, call me a fucking slut.
Just judging by her actions, you can tell that the demonic forces are, acting in her. This woman just said, just call me a slut. You know what I mean? You see how she's acting and stuff like that, and how they're just like dancing around inside of her. You know what I mean? This just goes to show you how, evil forces do work. As invisible as they are, they do work inside of Western women, especially. Let's look at it again.
One, because it's just blasphemous and it's laughable. And probably a little bit because I'm a masochist. Yes, call me a fucking slut. I love it. I know I am. But the other part is that the best you guys got? That's as low as you're gonna go? Because I can go lower.
Well, the thing is like when she mentions this, she acts like it's not bothering her, but it is bothering her, like deep inside, This thing is like affecting her, because if it wasn't affecting her, she wouldn't mention it. The fact that she mentioned these things, it means that she's affected by it, Otherwise, she wouldn't mention it.
Nobody has judged me harsher than I've judged myself. So the things that I read online, that's light work. I've been called worse by better. That better being me. My whole life, I've judged every little thing about myself.
No, you haven't, because if you did, you would maybe change. You haven't judged anything about yourself because you continue to carry on this tirade of self-destruction. So you haven't judged anything about yourself. You haven't sat back and looked and said, well, is what I'm doing right? It's what I'm doing an example for younger women coming up. You know what I mean? So you haven't done that.
I've lived in shame up until recently, really. When I lost my mind and decided to choose me.
What this means, if you look at it from the inner eye, what this means looking at this from the inner eye is that she basically made a pact with, I would say she made a pact with the devil. You know, what happened is with little, like, maybe what little shame she had left, she decided that she was going to give herself over to all of the evilness, and in exchange for that, she has a platform, you know, which modern Western women actually cheer her on, support her, and now we also know she has $200,000 coming each month from child support, while not letting the father see his kid. So this is what got exchanged for her, basically for her soul.
I don't need to be saved. I'm free. You save yourself. Because I know exactly.
Trust me, you know, you can trust and believe that, yeah, definitely. That's good advice. That's the only good advice you have, you know, throughout this video. But trust and believe that that's definitely one of the goals. Trust.
Exactly who I am. And where I'm going is far more significant than what I left behind.
Okay, so, I mean, what talents do you have that would, like, enable you to go somewhere significant? What talents do you have besides opening your legs?
I'm not going.
You see the evilness, right? When she does these, I want you guys to peep game. When she does these certain movements, it's not her. It's the demonic entities. Peep game.
Lost my mind and decided to choose. I'm just not. Far more significant than what I left behind. I'm not.
You see the flick of the hair, like in the blink of the eyes. That's telling you guys. That's that entity that controls her. I'm letting you know right now.
Going to change my genetic makeup. It is encoded in me to be exactly who I am. And I am so not sorry.
So she's in essence justifying, you know, it's interesting because people will say, like, for example, that they're born gay. They'll say that they were born a woman, but they came out a man, and things like that. People will say that, you know, people will say these type of things. But If that was the case, why is there so much effort that you have to go through to to become like a woman or something like that? You know, why is there so much effort, so much like biological effort, if that was the case, you know? So why is she going through so much effort in trying to explain and justify her thought behavior if she was born this way?
I'm just not. The world needed me, and that's why I'm here.
No, the world doesn't need you. The reason why you're here is because it was just by chance that you're here. But we don't, I mean, the world has enough of you already, you know?
I shake tables. I push envelopes. I'm a pusher. If it can be destroyed by the truth, it should be destroyed by the truth. I accept what comes behind me being me, even if that's being falsely accused, being ridiculed, dragged. I love it. I love it here.
She doesn't love it though. You know, she's going to keep on getting dragged. And as a matter of fact, it may get to a point where she like really goes off the deep end, you know, because of people giving her what she puts out. Because you have to understand something. What you put out is what you're going to get in return. So when she puts out all this slut crap, when she puts out all this lewdness, when she puts out all these things, she's going to get it in return, you know, and she's going to get it in return by, you know, comments, things like that. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. You get what you put out.
Built for this shit, honestly. I do the inner work outside of social media. So you're not going to see me on here boo-hoo. I do that in private.
So basically what she does is in private, she's crying and, you know, probably I'm going to say this, and it may not be too far-fetched, but she's miserable in private. You know what I mean? The thing is about a woman is that biologically, men and women are different. And even, I'll say, mentally, we're different. You know, we're wired different. We're built different. With feminism trying to say we're equal and stuff like that, we're not equal. Like, I'm just going to say it, we're not equal. A woman can't do everything a man can do. You know what I mean? If that was the case, then they would be able to, as I said in other videos, they would be able to run 100 meters in under 10 seconds. You know, if that was the case.
I do allow myself to feel in private, though. I mean, what are we saying? I have feelings too, you know.
Nah, she don't have no feelings. You know, that's just the bottom line. She don't got no feelings. That's cap. You know, the thing is when a woman, let's say a woman rides the cock carousel for a long time, what happens is that woman, she becomes numb to it, you know. She becomes number and number.
I allow myself to feel, and I don't.
What happens is the woman, she becomes number, and number, you know, with the more lewd things she does, you know what I mean? So the more she does it, the less feelings she has, you know. So that's why it's incumbent upon beta male simps to stop giving women like this their time and attention, because you can't please them anyway. Okay? That's just the bottom line. the streets, the less likely it is you will please that woman. So just cut it out for the sake of men.
Judge anything that comes up. And that is why I have endurance. That's why I can handle the load that has just been put on my shoulders.
But you put that load on your shoulders yourself, though. You said get an athlete because they don't use protection. You said you slept with entertainers. You said you slept with athletes. You didn't sleep with an athlete. You have a baby by an athlete. You take the baby from the athlete. Now you're getting child support from that athlete. You put the load on your shoulders. Nobody else did. It came from your decisions. You can't blame anybody else. You can't blame anything else. The load got put on your shoulders by you. And you alone. And your actions.
Because I'm really built for this shit. There's truly not enough cloth for all of us to be cut from it, in the words of famous Pump It Up rapper Joe Budden. And a wise man once told me that all doors lead to the same destination.
Yeah, if that was true, then women like yourself who are single mothers would be married right now and having men take care of their babies from different fathers, if that was the case. But instead, there's just single mothers upset not only with the men but with the kids as well for being a reflection of the man. So in addition to that, they figure that they buy dogs in order to have companionship, which they don't even want from their kids because their kids remind them of their father.
So instead of fighting with myself, trying to be something I'm not, I'm going to just stick to being me and accept it how it comes.
I want you to notice how her lip, I want you to notice how her lip kind of goes at like an angle when she's talking, you know. Her lip kind of gets crooked when she's talking, you know. Again, that just shows you that this chick is not normal. This chick is beyond damaged.
Endurance. That's why I can handle the load that has just been put on my shoulders. Because I'm really built for this shit. There's truly not enough cloth for all of us to be cut from it, in the words of famous Pump It Up rapper Joe Budden. And a wise man once told me that all doors lead to the same destination. So instead of fighting with myself, trying to be something I'm not, I'm going to just stick to being me and accept it how it comes.
You saw that, right? Hope y'all peeped that.
Because the one thing I've learned is when life is uncertain, when you don't know what the fuck you're doing, that's when the magic begins. In uncertainty, in the unknown, the question mark. What?
But you know what you're doing. That's the thing. You know what you're doing. It means like what you're saying. You know, one thing about women, what women will do. Women will talk to hear themselves talk and talk to sound smart and sound intelligent when really they sound dumb as shit. Modern Western women do that all the time. They think they have a point to prove, but really they are not saying shit. She's an example of that. And you see her face right now. You know, it's on pause. You can see the demonic entity inside of her shape shifting, twisting up her face. Look, you see it, right? You see how twisted her face is, right? That jinn has a big control over her, you know. And women who come to this page criticizing me, calling me a misogynist, a woman hater, saying that I have mom problems. No, I respect my mother and my father. And unlike a lot of you guys, they were married and they brought up many kids. Okay. And there was order and structure in the household. So miss me with that.
Surrender.
You heard that, right?
Because the one thing I've learned is when life is uncertain, when you don't know what the fuck you're doing, that's when the magic begins. In uncertainty, in the unknown, the question mark. What is...
You heard that, right? I don't need to really say anything else. So you can't tell me there's not an evil force lashed onto her back. You can't tell me that there's not.
Surrender. I'm surrendering. And whatever is going to happen is going to happen. Whether I try to fight it or I just go with the flow. I'm free. And I love that I'm differently wired. Because me not being like you is my superpower.
You have no superpowers, woman. You have none whatsoever. So you can just cut that out, you know. Please just cut that out. You have no superpowers. You not being like other people is but again, you're like other women. That's the thing. You're like other modern Western women. So I don't see where you see you're different. You're not different from them. They show themselves every time on TikTok. They just do what you do on a lower level. So you're not different.
Yeah. We're just different. And that's okay. A lot of people.
So there you have it, folks. Demon time, you know. So again, you know, it just goes to show you that the Wicked Witch of the West is indeed a wicked witch. Because a lot of these modern Western women, it's not just the physical aspect. There's a spiritual. That's the thing. In this gender war, it's not just ideology. It's not just that. It's a spiritual warfare as well. Because a lot of these wicked witches of the West, because they are so fragile and so vulnerable, it's easier for a jinn to take control of them. So we're not only dealing with the physical, like intellectual, psychological warfare. We're dealing in spiritual warfare with the Wicked Witch of the West. And all I can say is may Allah help us in this warfare. Ja Rabba.